Well, late July, wave of heat and humidity here in central and eastern Kentucky continuing through the weekend, of course, on this Monday out there. And it is going to hang tough for a few more days. But the good news is the light at the end of the tunnel. However, heat advisory for the entire area that goes through the day on Wednesday. So we're not going to get much relief here in the short term. You'll want to take it slow, but as mentioned, some cooler and less humid air is on the horizon. It's been an interesting day. A lot of the area has been dry. We had a cluster up north, diminished, re-strengthened over northeastern Kentucky, and a fairly healthy cluster earlier around Hazard. But as is typically the case this time of the late afternoon, heading into the early evening hours, you hit the peak heating, and we've got some additional development east of Lexington and back into southern Indiana. West Liberty got some heavier rain, and again, these are strengthening, so either side of Winchester, pretty torrential downpours right over Mount Sterling there. A little bit of lightning out US 460, Jeffersonville, Camargo there, into parts of southeastern Montgomery County and into western Menifee, and also running down east of Irvine here and south of Stanton there, right along the Estill and Powell County line. So the cluster up north diminished, the outflow kicked eastward. That helped fuel these in northeastern Kentucky. Everything diminishing in the east. One thing to note, look at all the cloudiness out into eastern Kentucky, and that's really having an impact on temperatures compared to where the sun has been out in full. Obviously a boundary across southern Indiana, and that's really helping to fire things up. In fact, you can see the wet ground and some rain flying with our live camera in front of the Montgomery County Courthouse. Now, last check, it was 88. It's probably cooler than that now that the rain has fallen there. Meanwhile, Jackson County, you kind of see some clouds, storm clouds off in the distance. You're 89, feeling like 97. But 91, Lexington 95, Richmond, Mount Vernon, same story in Somerset, Danville at 95, but out into eastern Kentucky, only in the 70s and 80s. Plenty of moisture with those low to mid 70 dew points, and a big chunk of real estate through the viewing area, only exception being far eastern Kentucky, 100 or greater with the heat index value. And farther west you go, worse it is. 111 with the heat index there in Evansville, 108 in Paducah, 106 in Nashville, although areas west of Lexington fairly close to this, and that's why we've got that heat advisory which continues through Wednesday evening. Nothing to really trigger this stuff other than just the heat and humidity and reaching that critical point with enough moisture and heat to get these things cranked up. Now, once the sun goes down, give it a few hours, and we'll see those go by the wayside. We'll be in the mid-70s tomorrow morning. I think less coverage tomorrow, and that may actually allow us to heat up a couple of more degrees. So that's going to keep us in that 105-degree heat index range, especially Lexington westward. That's why the entire area, again, has that heat advisory here. The upper level ridge, it's going to work back to the west. That opens the door for a frontal boundary to arrive on Thursday, and into Fridays we welcome August, and that's going to spell some big changes. Scattered showers and storms Wednesday into Thursday. Noticeably cooler. Again, everything's relative, meaning low to mid 80s, but also some drier air. So a couple of things to get excited about in that regard. Well, actually three, because the rain chances will back off Friday and into Saturday. But look at the difference. We go from mid 90s tomorrow to low 80s Friday and Saturday. And here's the key graphic. Look at the dip. We get comfy potentially, especially Saturday morning. We could see some upper 50s for early morning lows, but notice how the humidity jogs back up just ever so slightly. And the reason for it, a low down to the south, little inverted trough, it may try to kick some moisture our way. So Sunday, Monday, be a little isolated to scattered storms, nothing to get overly excited about. Still going to get a little bit of a break relative to the heat, so that's good news. Warm, muggy overnight, 73 coming up tomorrow. Hot, humid, stray afternoon storms, 94. It'll probably feel more like 104, and that'll go for areas of Lexington westward. But look at the changes to come, even with low wind chances on Friday, looking good. Just an isolated chance Saturday down south. I think that's your weekend day. Really nice start to August, and even with a few scattered storms around, temperatures looking pretty good. Late weekend, early next week, with highs in the low to mid 80s.